Please take the time to visit podsurvey.com/peasants to complete a short 21-question survey. Participants in the survey will be entered into a chance to win a $100 Amazon gift card. The survey can be taken multiple times, so feel free to visit back each month for your chance to enter the drawing. Please help to support the show by using our Amazon links located in the description anytime you purchase anything from Amazon. It's a great way to support the show while just going about your normal business shopping on Amazon.com. Also, check out our storefront for Drunken Peasants recommended merchandise. Patreon pledges of $5 or more will now receive 2 private shows each month. In addition to the private shows, Patreon pledges of $10 or more will receive the Drunken Peasants post show after each episode of the Drunken Peasants, Ben and Billy's monthly shitty movie review, and regular behind-the-scenes vlogs with Ben and Billy. Sign up anytime to catch the future shows as well as past content. If you want to catch the post shows but you're not a patron, click the join link below this video to become a member of the Drunken Peasants channel. In addition to each post show, you'll also get special badges and emojis that you can use in the Drunken Peasants live chat. Streamlabs will be open for the duration of each episode. Click the link below to send us a message. Donations $20 and above will be read out through text-to-speech and will require our immediate attention. All donations below $20 will be read at the end of each segment. Keep an eye out for our weekly Streamlabs goal, which if we meet, we will do an extra show the following week. If you find any content you'd like to see us cover on the show, send it to drunkenpeasantsinbox at gmail.com. All submissions will be reviewed for possible usage in a future episode. Click the Discord link in our description to join the Drunken Peasants Discord. Interact with other Drunken Peasants fans in text and voice chat, as well as the peasants themselves. Visit the Google Play Store and download the Drunken Peasants app to catch the audio version of the show while you're on the road. In addition to the app, the audio-only version of the show is also available through iTunes, Stitcher, Spotify, SoundCloud, and other audio platforms. That's all we have for now. Enjoy the show.
Duval County, 904 in this bitch, huh? Put your hands up. Yeah, you feel that bass? Turn it up. It's that dirty South punk rock. Dirty South. Dirty South, yeah. Throw it up. Where you from, nigga? Where you from? Duval. You could get caught in the club. Blow with your hood, throw it up in the club. Or you could get stopped in the club for a dog that I saw. Shut it, we don't give a fuck, yeah. But you don't want no problem. You don't want no problem. You don't want no problems with me. Don't weed, baby, 50 deep. Hold on back, hold on back. Man, fuck that nigga. Hold on back, hold on back. Man, fuck that nigga. Hold on back, hold on back. Fuck that, fuck back. DJ Dirty Ski. When I reach for the herb, nigga, what's the word? Bitch, nigga better recognize real G down the ride. Dirty South, I'm a record till I die. And I ain't even gotta tell her what my name is. I just walk right in like I'm famous. Get out the way, bitch. I'm heading straight to the VIP, where I'ma drink everything for free. Damn right. You can get caught in the club. Blow with your hood, throw it up in the club. Or you can get stopped in the club for a dog that I saw. Shut it, we don't give a fuck, yeah. But you don't want no problem. You don't want no problem. You don't
sound. TV Underground has the best video clips around. TV Underground has the best video clips in town. TV Underground has the best video clips around. TV Underground has the best video clips in town. TV Underground has the best video clips around. TV Underground has the best video clips in town. TV Underground has the best video clips around. TV Underground has the best video clips in town. TV Underground has the best video clips around.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Drunken Peasants Underground channel. Welcome. I'm back again with another solo stream. Actually, you know what? You know what that almost feels like saying that? Greetings, citizens of the multiverse and beyond. This is your friend forever, Benvin LaFavor, with an important video. It's kind of how it feels. Hello, what's up? What's up, everyone in the chat? The delay just caught up with them. So now they're saying, what's up to me? I've got some stuff to play, and I will play it. I do have an announcement. For those of you who are pissed off at Patreon for deleting certain people's profiles, if you're pissed off about that, we have a link down below. It's at the top of our Support Us section in the description down below, and it's for our new Subscribe Star account. And it is an exact mirror of our Patreon. So you get everything that Patreon offers, but it's through Subscribe Star as well. For those of you who want to do that instead. And we already have one subscriber. We posted it on social media earlier, and we got one new subscriber. It's Mr. Six Figs. So check that out. While there's a lot of Von Helton talk going on, it's not Finn. Did I get Super Smash Bros. Ultimate yet? No. No, I did not. I do not have any really new games right now. I'm kind of not really in the position to be buying games. I don't have a 40. Von the Con. Vorn the Corn. We could just get right into that if you guys want, if that's what you want to do. Watching full screen. And let's get into it.
Folks, in what can only be described as the stupidest thing I've ever seen in my entire life.
You saw your reflection in your computer monitor?
A terrorist-linked organization has now been given a day of recognition.
Oh, I forgot you guys can't see it. Shit. I always forget to set up this different overlay the way it's supposed to be. I got you guys. Here we go.
Well, Vaughn, surely that's over in Europe somewhere. No, no, right here in the United States.
In them there United States.
For real. That really happened. A terror-linked organization has been given a day of recognition right here in the United States. Right here.
Who is it?
Folks, you can't make this shit up. You just can't make this shit up, man. You just can't. All right, you just
His
can't
little
make this shit
giggle is so
up.
weird.
So without further ado,
Let's get into it.
let's get it. Alrighty, folks. Alrighty, folks, as you see right here, we're at Freedom Outpost. Houston mayor honors designated terror group. Names December 9th CARE Texas Houston Day.
Oh, and by the way, another thing about Subscribestar is we need to have, I believe, at least 5 subscribers on there to even get a payout. So we need 4 more new subscribers on Subscribestar. Link in the description.
You say, well, Vaughn, that website's biased. Okay, fine. Let's go to another one. Jihad Watch. Houston mayor honors Hamas-linked group proclaims December 9th CARE Texas Houston Day. Well, Vaughn, they're biased. Okay, fine. Let's go to the Geller Report. Houston Mayor Sylvester Turner proclaims December 9th CARE Texas Houston Day. Well, Vaughn, she's biased too. Okay, fine. Fuck you. We'll go to CARE's own website. There, you happy now? CARE's own website. CARE Houston welcomes CARE Texas Houston Day. Proclamation by Mayor Turner. There's the...
Yeah, but they're not. Yeah, they're not denying that this happened. They're not going to say that they're a terrorist organization.
Actual fucking document right there. Okay, you happy now? Jesus. Anyways, yeah, CARE. I don't think CARE even hides the fact that they're funded by Hamas anymore. Let me go back to Pamela's page here. Scroll down here a little bit. All right, look down here. It says,
Hi, I'm from Delaware, Ben. I may end up working at the diaper factory. I worked at a diaper factory, but it wasn't in Delaware. But I'm sure there's diaper factories everywhere. Diapers need to be made, right?
CARE.
People poop their pants a lot for various reasons, and we make diapers
Has ties
because
to
of that.
terrorism and has intimate links with Hamas. Senator...
This is a different source that you're showing here. This, okay, you showed us several pieces of information that showed that this was declared a day in Houston, an official day in Houston. But then you go back to your biased website to show us that this organization is supposedly part of Hamas.
Charles Schumer. Charles Schumer. Not a Republican, a Democrat.
Okay.
In fact, a leading Democrat.
Yes.
Senator Charles Schumer states that CARE does indeed have links with Hamas. Okay, and like I said, I don't think CARE even denies it anymore. I really don't. I don't think CARE even denies it anymore. They're just proud as a peacock that they're funded by Hamas. You know, the same Hamas that slaughtered thousands.
Someone said Von Helton wears adult diapers for show. You think so? I have no idea. You know, when he's running around in his Punisher trench coat, they'd be hard to notice that because, you know, like when people wear a diaper, they have that diaper bulge because of the padding in the diaper. And you could tell they have like a diaper bulge in their pants. So I guess maybe that's why he wears the black trench coat and pretends to be the Punisher. It's really to cover up his incontinence issues.
Of innocent lives. I don't think they give a shit anymore. And obviously this Houston mayor doesn't give a shit because he just gave them a day of remembrance. Holy fuck. Holy fuck. A day of remembrance to a fucking terrorist organization. Isn't that wonderful? Isn't that great? Isn't that nice?
I mean,
you know, I don't understand, okay? I really don't understand. I mean, you know.
Okay, so CARE, Council on American Islamic Relations. I would think that they would not be terrorist because they want positive relations between the general American public and Muslims. You would think.
I've been an American for years and years and years. Been a patriot. Served in government even. both in a civilian capacity and a quasi-military capacity. Was in the military, was in pre-military organizations.
Pre-military, like the Cub Scouts? Were you an Eagle Scout?
I was a Cub Scout.
Oh, yeah, I knew it! Everybody was, I mean, not literally everybody, but I was a Cub Scout.
I was Boy Scout.
Yeah,
Hell,
sure.
I've been in a uniform all my fucking life. I mean, think about it. Even martial arts, you have a gi, which is a type of uniform. So I've basically been in a uniform all my fucking life.
Vaughn, put on your gi and let's see some martial arts. Set up a camera, show us some spin kicks and fucking takedowns and submission holds. I want to see your skills. Maybe I'll set up a heavy bag and show us some Joe Rogan style back kicks. Have you ever seen that video? I'm sure since you're a martial arts expert, you should be able to fucking nail a heavy bag like Joe Rogan can in that one video of him doing back kicks. Let's see it.
I don't get a day of remembrance. How does a fucking terrorist organization...
Someone said he used to do judo with Elvis and President Nixon. I don't think he's old enough to have known President Nixon. Might have been like a kid, if anything, when Nixon was around. Right? And Elvis, well, Nixon died in like the 90s, but Elvis died in the like late 70s. So definitely not.
Organization get a day of remembrance. What have they done? What has CARE really done for America? What have they really done? Anything? Can you name one thing that they've really done that's helped America?
Well, I mean, they're more about smoothing over relations between, American Islamic relations. What do you mean, what did they do for America? I mean, they're an advocate for good relations between Muslims and the American public, right?
Have they brought money into the country? No. No. In fact, they take our money, don't they? Yeah. You know what I'm thinking, though? Here's what I'm thinking, okay? Now, as you by now know, if you watch my videos, you by now know there's a law in the books called the McLaren-Walters Act that was established in 1952 and then was updated in 1965 and re-ratified. And what does this law say, Vaughn? What the law says is that any group or individual seeking to overthrow the United States, either in whole or in part, is not permitted to be in this country. Period. End of story. Now,
I just read on Wikipedia. I'd like to check more sources, but from what I see, all the claims that this organization was part of Hamas or the Muslim Brotherhood has been debunked, as far as I can see. I need reading glasses? No. I just have naturally squinty eyes. And I took some medication today that's making me kind of sleepy. It was behind Oh, okay. It was behind 9/11. There you go. That's what happened.
does the Quran call for the overthrow of the United States of America? Oh, fuck yeah. Absolutely.
No, it doesn't. The United States of America didn't exist.
Absolutely it does. In fact, the Quran calls for the overthrow of all non-Muslim countries.
Okay, I thought you meant specifically. Yeah, I mean, it does say that you should do that. Sure.
Okay, not just America, but it calls for the overthrow of all of them. Okay, so, under the McLaren-Walters Act, no Muslim is supposed to be here, but there's more to it than that.
The crayon.
Because in 1776, a fatwa was placed on the United States by Islam. Not radical Islam, just Islam. Okay? Barbary pirates in particular. And to my knowledge, no one has ever lifted that fatwa. No cleric, no imam, no ayatollah, or no
imam.
Grand Mufti that I'm aware of. Now, if you know the name of this individual that lifted the fatwa off the United States back in 1776, give me their name. I'd love to have it. Been waiting. Been waiting years. Been waiting years for somebody to give me the name. Yeah, they can't.
Let's watch let's watch you pull out all your black shirts and your red shirts again. That was interesting.
Do it. Can't do it because it doesn't happen. Didn't happen. No one has ever lifted the fatwa placed on the United States in 1776.
The Grand Mufalada.
So what does that mean, Bon? What does that mean to me? What it means to you and me is that we are still at war with Islam. Not radical Islam either. Islam, period. The so-called moderates and the so-called radicals.
There are radicals and moderates.
And the so-called non-existents. Doesn't matter what you call them. And in fact, the Quran doesn't break up Islam like that anyway. All right. The so-called radical and moderate thing is a totally fake construct.
Just because it's not in the Quran doesn't mean it doesn't exist. There's definitely moderates.
By the U.S. media. Because the Quran doesn't say anything about that. Not at all. In fact, the Quran calls all Muslims to jihad.
So why isn't Vaughn calling out Trump for still being friendly with the Saudis then? I mean, the Saudis are at basically the center of the Islamic world. That's where Mecca is, right?
All Muslims. Yes, even the so-called moderate Muslims are called to jihad in the Quran. Period. And as any Muslim that lives in the Middle East will tell you, the Book of the Sword is the defining book for Islam. Period. Doesn't matter whether you're a Sunni, a Shia, a Wahhabi, a Kurd, doesn't matter. The Book of the Sword is the defining book for Islam. Period. End of story. Because, see, Islam breaks the world up into two parts. Dar al-Salam, the land of peace. Dar al-Harab, the land of war. Guess where you live? Yeah, you live in the land of war. Okay? Because you live in a non-Muslim country. Okay? You know, because everybody comes to me and they says, well, if Islam was truly a threat, why are all these Muslims peaceful? You know, there's all these millions of Muslims peaceful. Because they're living in Muslim countries. Okay? It's when they go to non-Muslim countries that they're called to jihad. That's when they're called to jihad. Okay? All these Muslims that come over here, they come over here to commit jihad. Because that's what the Quran tells them to do. That big, huge enclave of Muslims up in Michigan. Yeah, that shit's getting ready to go down.
Michigan's been this way for most of my life. And there are towns in Michigan that are even upwards of 55% Muslim. So, I mean, nothing really crazy has happened in these areas.
Soon. Real soon. Under Trump's watch, even. And then, like I showed you in just a few videos ago, where the Muslim cleric, yeah, man, we're going to take over America in just 2 years. Within 2 years. While Trump is still president. Did he look worried about Trump? No. And speaking of Trump, where is he on this matter? Oh, he hasn't said one word. Not one word. 87 Muslims were put in positions of power and jobs within our government, from dog catcher right on up to congressman. Not a peep out of Trump. In fact, Trump made like 5 or 6 different posts about he was so enamored with George Herbert Walker Bush, a globalist who wanted to overthrow the United States in favor of a one-world government.
What? George H.W. Bush, George Bush 41. He was a member of the NWO. Man, so not even the NWO can get you a second term, huh? It's like Slick Willie had a better chance of winning than a puppet candidate, a puppet president of the New World Order, right? Scott Steiner's too busy running a Shoney's restaurant. Hey guys, we have a goal for this week. I don't know why it says 23 hours to go. That's wrong. I'll fix that really quick. It's actually the goal period ends. The goal period ends in 6 days. And if we meet it, we're going to get a bonus show next Saturday. So Saturday the 22nd, there's already a bonus show thanks to all of our awesome donors that will be happening this Saturday. That's in the works. And then also because of all the awesome donors, we're doing a 24-hour show later, actually on New Year's Eve for 24 hours. So there's a chance... Like, all of you guys are going to get a chance to look at it at some point and get to watch at least an hour of it. And I'm really... part of the reason why I do these streams is to help get the goal going. So if anyone out there wants to help us reach the goal, feel free to send in a Streamlabs. I'll read it on the show if you have any questions. Anything, guys. Back to Vorn.
The New World Order, George Bush Sr. called it. Okay. But Trump, in like 4 or 5 tweets, GHWB, the greatest guy I ever know. He was a wonderful man. He was, we attended the funeral and everything was good. And then Trump, to double down on that, hires like 2 or 3 of GHWB's people on his staff. Globalists. Were we fighting globalism? I thought we were. I thought we were fighting globalism. Well, not anymore, because now Trump has put GHWB's own people on his staff. On his staff. And don't forget, we got the Treasury Secretary that used to be one of the head honchos for Rothschild.
The Rothschilds.
No doubt giving Rothschild information about Trump's every fucking move. But Trump doesn't seem to mind. Gee, I wonder why. Wonder why that is. Good question, huh? So I'm looking at this Houston mayor. I don't know his situation. I don't know if he's a convert to Islam or if he's been
the mayor of Houston. I don't think they'd be electing an Islamic convert in Houston. Sorry. Just don't see that happening. Also, I think I'm going to stream later tonight, too. I'm hoping we can get some of the donations going today, and then I'll also stream again later tonight. Probably early morning for some of you, and after midnight for a lot of you, too.
All this time. He could have been a sleeper all this time. Trudeau, anyone? Could have been a sleeper all this time. I don't know. Or he could have been a recent convert. Or he could have just seen the complete and utter inactivity of Congress. I mean, has Congress outlawed minarets? No. Has Congress outlawed Sharia law? No. Has Congress outlawed honor killings even? No. Where's Congress? They're on holiday, right? They're on vacation. Must be. They ain't done shit. And what about the mass deportations? I mean, surely Congress would honor the law, which is the McLaren-Walters Act of 1952, which was re-ratified in 65, and they would honor the law.
All right, I'm tired of listening to his gums smack together. Who's going to be our second subscriber on Subscribe Star? We'll see if it even happens. More Von Helton, or should I move on? I'll let you guys decide. More Vorn or move on? More Vorn or move on? Tell me what you think. Yeah, almost everybody says move on. All right, we're going to move on then.
Hey Faye family, it's Brother Mario. I pray you're having a great day. I wanted to go ahead and take an opportunity to create part 2.
Does Mario's face look swollen to anybody else? Does he look kind of like bloated? Does anyone else see that, where his eyes look kind of sunken in and his cheeks look really like bloated? And like what's going on? Is it all the creatine that he's taking? What is it?
2 to my Christian testimony. If you haven't seen part 1, I'll leave it linked up in the description section. In part 1, I share with you how it is that I lived a rebellious, self-destructive lifestyle of drugs, partying.
Oh my God, see what he used to look like? See his old haircut? I remember when dudes had haircuts like that. It was almost like they brought back like the 1970s moppy haircut, like almost borderline mullet kind of thing. And people had that in the early 2000s. Looks like he had a lip ring too. Cool.
Trying to hang out with the cool kids, sexual immorality, and all that nonsense. And how, had Jesus not saved me from that, I would basically be either dead or in jail. Now, in part 2, I wanted to discuss with you how it is that
dead or in jail, really? Come on, it's not like you were running with the mafia or something like that. You were partying and you know, being a man whore. I mean, you could have died if you weren't like responsible. You could have gotten like a horrible disease or something, but I mean, even realistically, the odds of that happening are pretty slim, especially for a heterosexual man, which you claim to be. The odds of getting like a fatal sexually transmitted disease is very uncommon for heterosexual men, even without protection. So with protection, the odds are very, very low. So, how would you end up in jail or dead? Were you robbing banks or something? Like, what is it?
I dived straight into New Age spirituality, all the way down the rabbit hole. And then by the end of it, I was in communication with over 30 spirit guides. And as you're going to hear in this video here, your spirit guides are nothing but demons masquerading themselves as benevolent beings of light to give you enlightenment. By the end of that New Age spiritual experience...
Okay, so part of his story was that he started... Like, he got into spirituality, which is actually just Satanism. And that's the reason why he became even worse of a person, was because he was letting demons possess him, through yoga and other things, meditation.
I found myself to be needing a deliverance, an exorcism. So,
oh shit, you know what? I just realized that when I updated the goal, it erased the $5 that someone had given me, so I need to add that back. There. $5 is back.
We'll discuss that in today's video. So where did this all start? It started when I was sent to a psychologist for depression, anxiety, and panic, which I talked about in part 1. Now, this psychologist had a bookshelf and it was full of meditation books, yoga. He had chanting bowls. And so he was constantly kind of pushing this form of spirituality as something that could potentially heal me from the things that I was...
It's not... Okay. yoga doesn't have to be spiritual. Yoga can be done purely for physical well-being. You know this. You know it's true. Yoga's a workout. You get a workout doing it. Some people find it peaceful and balancing. And exercise does promote. I know this, even though I fall out of it and get back into it sometimes. Exercise is mentally therapeutic too. I feel physically and mentally better after I exercise. I do. Like, I feel mentally uplifted after exercise. And I can say that meditation is not necessarily a spiritual thing. It can also be done for mental health. It can be therapeutic. It's been proven to be therapeutic to people. I've had psychologists suggest that I do meditation in the past. What's up, John Page? So he's full of shit. The things, I feel like Mario walked into this therapist office convinced that he didn't need therapy. So yeah.
Suffering from in my teenage years. So like a breadcrumb trail, I began to follow this form of spirituality, deeper and deeper down the rabbit hole. I started practicing yoga, meditation, reading books, Deepak Chopra.
Oh no, not reading books! No! Only the worst satanic minds of the world in history read books. You are truly in the clutches of the Dark One. Mario, your soul is lost forever, Mario, because you dared. I don't even know what to say. Books are satanic.
Chopra, Eckhart Tolle, Wayne Dyer, and many other prominent gurus in the New Age movement. I also stumbled across literature that talked about the possibility of me being what in the New Age movement they describe as a indigo child, oftentimes called a rainbow child as well. Now, I started to resonate with this because a lot of the symptoms or the experiences that I were having paralleled exactly with the description. And so I started to believe that I was some special chosen light worker that was sent here to raise the vibration.
Well, I think that's just you and your ego taking the spirituality that you were getting into and making yourself more important than you really were. And you do that with Christianity too. You believe you were some, I remember you talking about the like image of the kid with the megaphone or something like that. And you saw yourself as like the messenger. Like you think you're, delivering a message ordained to you by your God now. So I think this is these things that you're saying don't come from the spiritual practice that you were getting into. It comes from your ego wanting to be some kind of chosen one when you're not. You're just a normal guy.
Of the earth and so on. I also got heavily involved in Kundalini yoga.
Cunnilingus?
Now, Kundalini yoga.
Cunnilingus yoga? Man, I'll tell you what. That's some hot yoga.
Is serpent yoga. And the philosophy...
Oh no, it's a snake, which means it's a devil too. Because in Adam and Eve, the snake, that was like evil. Because snakes are just... the evil animals, I guess. So why'd they even take snakes on Noah's Ark? Why not just let them drown since they're all evil?
The philosophy behind it is that at the base of what is called the chakra system is a dormant energy serpent that can be awoken to climb up the chakra system, come to your third eye, and once it makes its way to the third eye, you will become enlightened, knowing that everything, and including yourself, is God. So you begin to be deceived by a pantheistic, false view of God. And this is what I truly believe, that I was God, that you were God, that all things were God. which is false, and I talk about that on my YouTube channel. But Kundalini Yoga got me to go through what is called an awakening, a spiritual rebirth, all counterfeits of...
Okay, so yeah, the general public, the general population of people who practice yoga in the Western world do not do it religiously. They do it for exercise.
The real things of God, by the way. But I continued in this and I started to experience many symptoms that are common to people who practice Kundalini Yoga. Sometimes they call it the dark night of the soul. It wasn't a pleasant experience at all. I would wake up in the morning and I would feel intense fire, warm heat on my back.
I looked behind me and there was a guy rubbing icy hot back there.
I would start to hear through audience and clairvoyance. I would start to see and hear things through my higher spiritual senses. Because in the New Age movement,
this sounds like symptoms from a mental illness.
That is essentially what you're doing. You're tapping into things like clairvoyance, clairsentient, and there's like 6 of them that allow you to communicate to spirits. Another author that really influenced me was in fact Doreen Virtue. You may have heard already that she has come to the Lord Jesus Christ as well. But at the time, she and I were both heavily involved in the New Age movement, and she was authoring books and producing oracle card decks. And one of her books was about how to contact your angels and how to contact spirits. And so I started to do this and open myself up to try and communicate to beings that God forbids us to communicate with.
So, yeah, God created these beings, but we're not allowed to communicate with them. So you attempting to communicate with them is satanic. Even though God somehow made it so that there's a loophole that humans figured out to communicate with them, according to this book that Mario read.
A major shift for me in this area was dabbling with third eye meditation. I really wanted to open up my third eye, so I meditated for months and months and months. And then finally one day, I activated or opened my third eye. Basically, how the experience felt is I was in meditation, and normally you focus forward and your eyes can see your forehead, but all of a sudden, I heard a pop, and it's as if my perception shifted and I saw internally. And then what I witnessed was like a kaleidoscope of images, a kaleidoscope of beings and worlds and all sorts of different things. And I remember at that moment...
That's called a hallucination, okay? And people do hallucinate sometimes through meditation. There's forms of meditation that can cause... I mean, it's not like a LSD experience or DMT or anything like that, but it can cause a mild hallucination, for sure. But that's not spiritual.
Experiencing something that is higher than myself. Something was being downloaded in me through this opening of what they call the third eye. So now, with my third eye activated and my tarot cards and my oracle cards, I began to really try and communicate with spirits. I also started to get all my friends and people in my life into this form of spirituality, or try to at least.
Well, that's you. This is all stuff that attributes to your personality.
I successfully was able to convince and be used of these spirits to bring almost 24 people to a...
Yeah, now you do it with Christianity. It's you. It's not possession. You fucking are the kind of person where if you get into something and really believe it, you want everyone else to agree with it. So you believed in this spiritual shit, and now you believe, and you try to convert everyone you knew to it, and now you're a Christian, you try to convert everyone to Christianity.
an awakened state of consciousness by telling them, hey, guess what the ultimate truth in life is? You're a god. And that is the lie that the serpent told Eve in the garden. You shall surely not die, the serpent said to Eve. You will be like God. I believed myself through this gnosis, through this knowledge, this esoteric occult knowledge, to be a god, which was the serpent's lie. Now, what I began to do is call upon the angels, what I believed were angels, to come and communicate messages psychically to me.
Okay.
And so I remember one day we were at my house and we had a meditation circle going on, which was very common for us. And we were also dabbling in the use of psychedelics.
Yeah. Oh, there we go. There we go.
Now, I'm not talking about recreational psychedelics. I'm talking about what Joe Rogan is recommending his audience to do, which, by the way, is one of the most spiritually foolish, stupid things to do. And that is to use psychedelics, not recreationally, but for spiritual experience, to induce a higher state of ability to perceive what these beings are trying to communicate to you. And so we dabbled in psychedelics and began to meditate that day. And I remember in a moment, it was like a presence fell from the...
God, Mario used to sound like Mario was kind of cool and fun back in the day. And now it's like, I mean, I wouldn't be like, oh, you know, I don't believe in this new age bullshit you're pushing on me. But man, Mario was still more fun to hang out with than he is now. He's so fucking uptight. Hey guys, like the stream, subscribe to this channel, please. And if you could, the donations on that you see on the screen, if you can contribute, I'd really appreciate it. Help us get this bonus show by Saturday.
The ceiling and right into the room. And the entire meditation circle, there was about 6 of us. We all were with our eyes closed, sitting there, and we all moved back at the same time because we felt the presence come. Now, it wasn't long after that I began to receive messages in my third eye. Now, when you're communicating with these spirits, it's not so much like I'm communicating with you now. It is through the higher senses, like clairaudio, clairsentient, clairvoyance, etc., that you begin to communicate to them. And for me specifically, it was through the third eye, through clairvoyance, that they would communicate to me. One of the angels came to me and said that basically I was special, that I was chosen. Now, this was 2007, and there was a lot of messages, channeled messages, coming from different New Age channelers about the age of Aquarius coming.
This shit is so dumb. All right, Mario. I don't know how much longer I can listen to this story. First of all, it's really dragged out. I'm gonna fast forward through. Hold on. What was this? Oh, it's a Bible verse.
Shattered. This was the first time that I heard some very key Bible verses like these. 2 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 14 says, Satan himself masquerades as an angel of light. And also, 1 John chapter 4, verse 1, Beloved, do not believe every spirit, but test the spirits to see whether they are from God. Now, when I first heard these 2 Bible verses, it...
Oh, God, I'm so... Okay, I'm fucking done with it. Okay. Trump scrambles to find John Kelly replacement for chief of staff.
Now we have some breaking news for you in the politics lead. A new name is emerging as a top contender to replace John Kelly as White House chief of staff. A source close to the White House is telling CNN that former New Jersey Governor Chris Christie is now considered a strong option, as others seem to be rushing to take their names out of the running, possibly unwilling to take on the firestorms that are waiting.
Chris Christie will take whatever he can get, apparently.
Let's go to CNN's Caitlin Collins at the White House. And Caitlin, the job of White House Chief of Staff used to elevate people, but with Reince Priebus and John Kelly, arguably, it actually diminished their
it's the
reputation.
Joker lady
You better bet
again.
that's a
She's got her Joker jacket on again, too.
big factor being considered by those people whose names are now being floated. Jake, what's complicating this search is that it essentially got started 24 hours ago because President Trump did not think Nick Ayers was going to decline this job, and there was no backup. Now old names are being floated, and essentially it is a free-for-all in Washington for who's going to be the next chief of staff. President Trump scrambling tonight as the hasty search for his next chief of staff continues, with no clear replacement in sight.
John Kelly.
He's always in front of a helicopter! Why can't they do these interviews inside before he comes outside?
Will be leaving at the end of the year.
Who will replace John Kelly is now an open question after the top contender, Vice President Mike Pence's chief of staff, Nick Ayers, turned the president down because they couldn't agree on timing.
He said, "Fuck no, I'm not doing this. I'm fine where I'm at.
Trump wanted a 2-year commitment.
I'm here working for Vice President Palpatine, okay?"
But Ayers only wanted to run the West Wing on a temporary basis.
It might be on an interim basis. I'll be announcing that over the next day or two.
Trump writing on Twitter that he's in the process of interviewing some really great people and will make a decision soon, but denying he was close to making a deal with Ayers, even though sources say they'd already drafted a statement announcing his hiring before the negotiations fell apart. Despite having no obvious candidate in mind, Trump already has a to-do list for his next chief of staff, including shifting the West Wing's priorities away from legislation and policy to politics, according to sources who added that the president wanted Ayers to conduct a full review of West Wing operations, including staffing, because he's growing increasingly anxious about his political future, telling aides he needs all the help he can get before January, when newly empowered House Democrats take over.
Oh, God.
Are you at all concerned about what happens next with the White House without John Kelly?
Well, it depends who they put in as a replacement.
The job hunt now underway and familiar names are resurfacing, including Congressman Mark Meadows, Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin, White House Budget Director Mick Mulvaney, and
Mick Mulvaney.
U.S. Trade Representative Robert Lighthizer. But not all of those being floated sound like they're up to the daunting task.
Is that a job you want?
The president has given me what is a very difficult job. I'm very, very happy doing it.
As Trump searches for his third chief of staff in under 2 years,
Wow.
his critics are reminding him of this tweet from 2012, when he criticized President Barack Obama for having 3 chiefs of staff in less than 3 years.
See, this is part of the tweeting that can come back to bite him in the ass. But lucky for him, his base doesn't care about hypocrisy. It doesn't bother them at all if he's they don't care about his hypocrisy.
Now, Jake, John Kelly attended a holiday party here at the White House last night. He is at work today, but there are only 3 weeks left for President Trump to find a replacement for him, and White House aides are very aware that time is ticking. Jake?
All right, Caitlin Collins, thanks so much. Now, since the Kelly news dropped, we now have sources saying that former New Jersey Governor Chris Christie is in the running to replace Kelly. Republican Congressman Mark Meadows said publicly that serving as chief of staff would be an incredible honor, but a source told CNN that he's telling associates he's, quote, absolutely not interested. Steve Mnuchin says he can best serve in his current role as Treasury Secretary, according to a source. This is not the first time Mick Mulvaney's name has come up. A source told CNN the White House budget director is not interested, happy where he is.
What a weird name. Boy, that guy had a fucked up name, didn't he?
It seems that you can't sell a list of insiders on this job.
Yeah, I mean, this is a job, to state the obvious, that typically people really want this job. It is a resume maker, of course. And this is now a time where leaving the White House in a high-profile position as a cabinet member, as a senior White House official, is actually diminishing of your role, diminishing of your effectiveness. I was talking to a former colleague earlier today about this, who actually made an interesting point, which is it's actually tough for Trump because people thought that Nick Ayers was going to be the guy for months since we've been talking about Kelly's departure.
The vice president.
Yes, Nick Ayers.
Yeah, it is really ridiculous. I don't know. Trump should do a Twitter sweep, like go back and delete all of his old shit. You know, I'm starting to recommend that to most people because they're going and looking at shit people said when they were teenagers on Twitter, and people are getting in deep shit now that they're adults and they haven't done anything wrong. It's just ridiculous.
Exactly. The vice president, chief of staff, that was assumed and then all of a sudden dropped. And you never want, as chaotic as this White House is, this is such an important role that you're projecting chaos, and maybe it wasn't even intentionally that way. So we don't know the backstory. Maybe David does.
Well, David, I want to hear the backstory, but I know you don't think that the names we put up there of Meadows and Mulvaney and Mnuchin are likely. But I want to ask you about these wild card names. MSNBC reports that acting Attorney General Matt Whitaker's in the running, along with New York Yankees president Randy Levine. And Fox News, Brian Kilmeade suggested former Trump campaign deputy campaign manager David Boss.
Weird. Okay. Anyway, check this out. This is something I saw today. This guy just won the Heisman Trophy, which is the highest honor for a single player in college football. It's the highest award. He fucking... like the day after he won it, people were looking for old tweets to condemn him over. It's so ridiculous. Let's see.
It's supposed to be the perfect night for Heisman winner Kyler Murray, but just hours after being voted college football's best player, he was forced to apologize after some old tweets came back to haunt him. This morning, a star quarterback known for his dominant offense is now playing defense, just hours after etching his name into college football lore. Oklahoma quarterback Kyler Murray's Saturday to Remember quickly turned sour after tweets he posted as a teenager containing offensive language resurfaced. According to multiple reports, some of Murray's posts contained homophobic slurs. The tweets were deleted after he hoisted college football's top individual award. Then the 21-year-old responded online, writing, "I apologize for the tweets that have come to light tonight from when I was 14 and 15. I used a poor choice of words that doesn't reflect who I am or what I believe. I did not intend to single out any individual or group." Murray is just the latest public figure to face controversy over his past behavior on social media.
So I just got a call from the academy, and that call basically said, Kevin.
So yeah, there we go. It's happening again. Anytime someone makes a new achievement in their career, they're like, oh, you know what? Let's go look through their Twitter. Especially the one guy, he was 15. Yeah, because he's a college football player, so he's no older than 25 now. Fuck this world! Everyone say it with me. Fuck this world. 1, 2, 3. Fuck this world! It feels good. It feels really good to say. Everyone try it. And who cares? Yeah, type it, but try actually saying it. Yeah. Yeah, it feels good to say, doesn't it? No, I'm not saying nuke the world. I'm just saying fuck it. I don't want it to get nuked. I just say fuck it. So many ridiculous shitheads out there. But here's the thing. If we want to have this, people are more connected today than they ever were before. Back in the day, like, normally you only socialized with the people in your life, your family, your friends, your coworkers. But now everybody gets to talk to everybody. So now, like, it's just endless. Everything you say in the public space is documented and anyone can look at it. I'm in the UK listening to a Yank Live that is truly amazing. It is true. Oh, man, I remember back in the day, you know, an international phone call to another country would be so expensive. Even, I remember, you know, before cell phones, if I wanted to call the next county over, you know, a place that was probably like a 30 to 45 minute drive from where I lived, I had to pay long distance charges for that. If the phone number wasn't like in my general area, even people in the same, I knew people that had the same area code as me, but they were still considered long distance because they were in another county. And now we get, you know, live video calls. You know, there's the live streaming, there's live, you know, private live video calls. It's just everything. It's ridiculous. It's I don't know. It's amazing and ridiculous at the same time. I'm going to try to stream again tonight, but guys, if there's any of you out there that can either contribute to the bonus show, or you can sign up for Subscribestar or Patreon, whichever you'd like, and contribute, that would be great. Here's something interesting. Rand Paul urges Trump to punish Saudi Arabia.
Well, if the President of the United States isn't going to get tough with Saudi Arabia, the United States Senate will. I'm talking Republicans and Democrats, and I'm talking some strange bedfellows in the process, including Kentucky Republican Senator Rand Paul and South Carolina Senator Lindsey Graham, both often at odds when it comes to a host of foreign policy issues, but not when it calls to taking into question exactly how far the Saudis should get a pass from the United States of America. Senator Paul joins me now. Senator, good to have you.
Thank you.
It looks like you're both on the same page when it comes to some retribution on the Saudis. Lindsey Graham saying it's akin to what the Bible calls the end times. Is it?
Well, you know, I think it's a testimony as to how extraordinary this is, that someone went into a consulate, was actually urged into a consulate of a country, and then killed by that country. You know, people say, oh, these dictators kill people around the world all the time. Well, yeah, but it's still a little bit.
Anytime I hear the word dictator, I imagine a potato that's in the shape of a dick.
Bit uncommon. In fact, I would say extraordinary to invite him into the Istanbul.
It gets me through my work.
Fuck report. Yes! Hey, dude. That alone, I promise I will stream again tonight. If either you or anyone else can help keep that coming, that would be much appreciated. But yes, I will stream tonight. Just because of the $50. I was feeling kind of discouraged because we hadn't even gotten over 1% of our goal, but that helps out a lot. Thank you.
Consulate to actually encourage him that he would be safe there, and then to kill and dismember him. So I think it's an extraordinary thing, and it has brought people from across the spectrum, Republicans that don't often agree, but also Democrats. We're all together and saying, you know what, if we turn a blind eye to this, you'll get more of it.
Why don't you think the president agrees?
You know, I think he has a different viewpoint of the Saudis, and I guess when I compare the Saudis to the Iranians, I actually have trouble determining which one is more evil. In fact, I think as far as spreading radical Islam and spreading ideas of violent jihad against civilians, I think the Saudis are actually much more of a worldwide menace because they have funded maybe 50,000.
Thank you, Raul Martinez.
Religious madrasas to teach hatred of Christians, Hindus, and Jews. And so I think the Saudis are a menace worldwide.
I agree. The Saudis, you know, their wealth, their influence, their the way that they operate by Sharia law in their own country. Obviously, the way they assassinate journalists. It makes them way more dangerous than Iran, and we treat Iran way worse than we treat Saudi Arabia. You know, we place sanctions on them, but we're buddies with Saudi Arabia, and they're just as bad, if not worse, than Iran.
What they've done in Yemen is unconscionable, and then killing and dismembering a dissident is just beyond the pale.
So what do we do, Senator? I mean, you come up with a variety of options. The president is not open to considering any for the time being, but what do you think we should do?
I think at the very least we should not reward them for their behavior. So a reward in my mind is selling them arms. I think that our military arms are a unique industry. I don't think they're like the shoe industry or the soccer ball industry. I think selling arms...
The soccer ball injury, he said, by mistake.
Distinctly something that is owned by the American people, that is part of our national security. So we don't sell arms to China. We don't sell arms to Russia. It's not about jobs. And so if Saudi Arabia is not a full-throated and fully supportive ally, they shouldn't get our arms. What they are doing in Yemen is unconscionable. It's a humanitarian disaster. Secretary Pompeo told him about a month ago, quit bombing civilian centers. Since that time, the Saudis have dropped several hundred bombs on civilian centers in Hodeidah. So they need a stronger message. And right now, the Crown Prince thinks he can do whatever he wants. And I think that's very worrisome. There are about three.
He is doing whatever he wants so far, right? Nothing. There's been no consequences. They'll punish the people who carried it out, but the people at the top that gave the order will walk away from it like nothing happened, unless someone with real authority calls them out.
3,000 people held in Saudi Arabia without trial right now. I fear that if we turn a blind eye, many of them will die.
You know, the president has argued that because of all these defense deals and related contracts, I don't know what an accurate figure is, Senator, but let's say tens of billions of dollars, that goes elsewhere. That goes to China. That goes to Russia, you say?
Well, all of the airplanes they fly in the Air Force, Saudi Arabian Air Force is entirely American planes. If they want to put Chinese parts on their planes, good luck.
You know, like, they can't, in Iran, they can't even use credit cards or debit cards. It's mostly all cash going on there because of the economic sanctions on them. So they're just kind of fucked by all of that, along with all the other shit that is imposed on them, and they deserve it for a lot of the shit that they pull in Iran. But in Saudi Arabia, they do basically the same shit, and nothing happens to them.
So they depend on us much more than we depend on them. We are a world superpower. They are a country that has a defense budget about 1/114th of ours. They depend entirely on us for parts. So we should tell them no more parts until you shape up. Their Air Force would be no longer flying in 3 or 4 months. We fix their planes. We give them the parts for the planes. We train their pilots. They are entirely dependent on us, and they need to act like an ally, or they shouldn't get weapons from us.
Let me switch gears on the president's choice to be the next Attorney General, William Barr. You have serious issues with him. Are they such that you would not support him?
I think we're going to have to find out more. My team is now researching his past statements, researching his actions, what he's participated in. But, libertarian conservatives like myself have been very concerned for a long time that the Patriot Act allowed the government too much power to spy on Americans. I'm fine with spying on terrorists, but I'm not so happy about how much spying we do on Americans. And his statements in the past have been that the Patriot Act was okay.
When Ron and Rand Paul, both of them, at first seemed really fringe compared to the establishment of the Republicans. Thank you.
I've enjoyed the content since the election special. Keep up the good work.
Thank you. We intend to. Thanks for supporting the show, getting us ever closer to our goal. And there will be another stream later tonight. probably around like 9 p.m. Pacific time. Anyway, Ron and Rand Paul, you know, them being more libertarian, it seemed very different and kind of, in a way, kind of radical compared to the Republican establishment. But now that like the Trump side of the Republicans exists, Ron and Rand Paul seem so much more sensible about things, you know?
But didn't go far enough, that he wanted to allow the government more power to do surveillance. And actually, I want more constitutional checks to protect Americans. And so this sounds like something that we could have a significant disagreement on, but we're going to give it time. We're going to research his record. We'll be willing to meet with him. But my first impression is that I'm concerned.
The president, meanwhile, seems to be having a devil of a time finding a new chief of staff, assuming that he is letting John Kelly go at the end of the year, a couple of weeks from now. And a number of names that were mentioned, Senator, have since sort of taken themselves out of the running voluntarily. Mark Meadows, the new Freedom Caucus, the House Freedom Caucus.
You know, I think Rand Paul could run for president. Someone said he should run as a libertarian. I don't think he would leave his party. And obviously, I don't think he would run against Trump because it wouldn't be successful. It'd be a waste of time. So, yeah. I don't think anyone from the party, even though there's a lot of people in the Republican Party that oppose Trump, I don't think anyone will stand up and try to oppose him in an election. I just don't see that happening. Here's something kind of interesting. Theresa May's hilarious exchange with MP about premature ejaculation. So Theresa May was talking to someone about premature ejaculation.
Mr. Speaker, 9 times the Prime Minister assured us that there'd be no early general election, and still it happened. As recently as this morning, her hapless, ever-changing band of ministers were out on the airwaves assuring us that there would be a meaningful vote tomorrow before this latest twist, this sort of premature parliamentary ejaculation that has put the lie to the claim that she sticks to her guns. When she won't even tell us when the vote is deferred to, and it appears that the lady is returning. How can we or anyone trust anything she says again?
I'm tempted to say to the Honourable Lady, if she looks carefully, I think she'll see that I'm not capable of a parliamentary ejaculation.
You know, I've never seen this Monty Python sketch before. Okay. She's a squirter. We pay. So, guys, I'm going to step away for just a moment here. Let me do something very quick. So, I'm going to step away, and when I say step away, I mean literally just to use the restroom and get a glass of water. And then I'll be right back. So don't go anywhere. We'll watch some more stuff. Stay with me. We are back. Thanks for sticking around with me. So, really quick here. I'll just leave the music, on a little bit. So, I'm gonna take a minute here to pair the shock remote control with the electroshock dog collars that we got for this up-and-coming private show where Billy and I, no joke, will be literally shocking each other, zapping the fuck out of each other with these electroshock dog collars. Here's the instructions. I think... Alright, so we got that. I got that done. Alright, how do I pair this fucking collar? In charge, blah, blah, blah. Okay. So, charge the controller, charge the receiver collar. Okay. All right. Okay, so... Been watching since No Bullshit episode. Thanks for the hours and years of quality entertainment. Thank you. You're fucking awesome. Yeah, dude, this is gonna be insane. I'm just reading this shit. This is not in the right order. This is so stupid. Receiver. Okay, let's see here. So... I guess I'm gonna have to figure this out later because it's really weird. There should be a pin. Damn. Should have went to a sex shop and got their shockers. All right. This is so janky the way this is set up. There we go. I think it is now paired. Let's see what this does. So now let's okay. All right. I see. Okay. Okay. Oh shit. Mode. So I'll put it next to yeah, I think it's ready to go. I think I have to turn it up higher though. It gets up to the 100 let's see. Oh my god, do you guys hear that? All right, I'm turning it up to 100. Oh my god. I have to put all right, so final on the balls. Dude, this is going to be so crazy. I have to put these contacts on here. I have to screw them into place. This was such a great idea, man. We're so smart. We're the Sweet Smart Boys podcast. That's what we are. So what? So you're saying our skin should be wetted down with salt water before we do this? Actually, I think sweat might do it, right? We're going to be doing some physical stuff. I'll be giving you guys kind of a preview, you know? So they have a testing device that comes with it. I think this is it. I don't know how this works exactly. Is it like that? Oh, okay. Well, I guess it's like this. Let me see how this works. Because I want to show you guys the zap. Is it? Let's see. Test bulb from the package, put it on the receiver. Contact points. I'm not sure how this works. Fuck. This is really weird how they... I'm not sure how they want this to work because the instruction manuals on these things are so bad. You want the Lawrence Welk band? I'll cue that up in just a second here. I love that shit. Yeah, I really, I'm just really not sure how this works. Let's see. I guess I'll have to look into it a little bit more. I really, there's nothing else to really read though. The photo for this thing is so unbelievably inadequate. Test the following system, or test the training system. The following methods will help you ascertain whether the system functions properly. Please make sure that the remote and the receiver collar have been synced successfully. They have. Take out the test bulb from the package and put it on the receiver collar contact points. Just put it on them. I guess like this. This is so weird. Okay. Oh, I see. Oh my God, I see. Okay. Okay, guys. Let me do this. Damn it. All right. So here's the shock contacts here. And then this is a test bulb that kind of shows that electricity is coming up. So I'm turning it up to 50. Oh shit, it fell. Yeah, this thing does not attach very well. It's kind of weird, but all right, there we go. All right, here we go. See how it lights up? That's 50. That's half power. I can hear it crackling. Oh my God. Now I'm going all the way up to 100. Oh shit. There we go. Oh shit. Look at the bulb go. Whoa. Try it on my skin? You know what? Fuck it, I'll put the music back on. I'll do it on my skin for 10 bucks. 10 bucks, and I'm only doing it at, I'll do it at, I'm going to start at 10%. How about that? Try it over clothes. Thought I was wearing it on my neck. All right. Now I get an opportunity to fit it to me also. We're testing out the equipment for our next game. Thank you for for the donation. I really appreciate it. It's kind of hard to do this to yourself, especially like I probably should make myself full screen so I can actually see what I'm doing. Fuck it, I'll just hold it tight like this. I just did it, but I'll do it again. Oh my god. I need to adjust this a little bit. Go up to 100. Okay, so I got people telling me to just do 50, and then I got people telling me to go up to 100. What? Why won't this shit adjust? What the hell is wrong with me? Because I know it's me. I just don't understand how this needs to be adjusted. I have a life, buddy. I have more of a life than you. Because your life consists of going to random streams and telling other people to get a life. I don't do that. My time is used more effectively. You know what? I gotta figure out how to adjust this shit. But I'll... Alright. I'll turn it up. Okay. Alright. 50. Here we go. You can feel it in your teeth. And it also has a flashlight on it. You want me to do it full screen? Alright. Whatever. I'll turn down the music. I gotta put these other contacts in here. There is no 110. It goes from 0 to 100. Okay. Oh, you guys want full screen, whatever. I don't even have full screen set up on this. Where do I'll do it here at source. It's video. All right, here I am. And as you can see, I have it right here. I'm holding it tighter. I can't see the chat right now. I've turned up my mic a little bit so you can hear. Hold on. All right. So I got all the metal hardware out. All right. Here we go. What the fuck? Nah. Stop. Yeah, I like how, even though it doesn't stay on very well, I like the little testing thing that they send. It's almost like it has a wire at the bottom and it lets you light up the little bulb. I really thought that was cool, honestly. Oh, it doesn't stay on well, though. So, yeah, once I figure out how to adjust this thing, which is weird because I'm used to guitar straps and things like that, so you'd think I'd be able to figure this shit out, right? It seems counterintuitive. There we go. Maybe that'll help. You know, I'm shocking myself, but I'm not like tasering myself. This is a training tool. I would never use it on a dog because I just like dogs a lot and I would feel really bad zapping a dog. But I know it's used by some people as a training tool for dogs, so obviously it's not going to, it's not a taser. But yeah, pretty awesome product, I would say. Right? I mean, maybe that's something we can, Joe getting his balls shocked. That might be something we can work out for the 24-hour show. Yeah. I keep checking periodically to see if we get any new subscribe stars. We still only have one. We only have one subscribe star, Mr. Six Figs. Because I don't know. And I was really surprised. I was like, "Oh shit, no one's going to do it right away." And that has been partially true. It's just all of a sudden Mr. Six Figs became a subscriber really quick out of the blue. And I was like, wow, we got one really quick. What is Subscribestar? Subscribestar is a new alternative to Patreon. Patreon banned a bunch of people, and because of that, a lot of people are canceling their pledges, not because they don't want to support us, but because they don't want to support Patreon. So we created an exact mirror image of, like, basically it's a clone. Our Subscribe Star page is a clone of our Patreon page. Everything you can get through Subscribe Star, through Patreon, you can also get through Subscribe Star. Hey, you know what? I wasn't trying to be informative. Well, most of the informative stuff happened earlier. Now it's just the chill part. Your criticism is so lame. Sleep shocker stream. That would be fun. If there was a way people could do it remotely for like a $200 donation or something. No, 9/11 is not enough to shock me out of my sleep. It would be more like $100, $200, somewhere in that range. And then I'll just leave the collar on all night, and if people want to pay that much to zap me, fine. Zap Joe's balls. Rubbish! This is pure rubbish, I say! So, I think I'm probably going to wrap this up. And I am definitely going to stream again later tonight. I can't do a shot collar sleep stream because if I'm asleep, who's going to hit the button to wake me up? And there's no, these shock collars don't work remotely. There's no way to set them up so you can use them through the internet. So, all right, I'm done. Thanks for watching. Thanks for contributing. And I'll see you guys later.
In the beginning, there was nothing. And then there was the Drunken Peasants podcast.
Drunken Peasants. Drunken Peasants. Drunken Peasants. Drunken Peasants. From the strangest corners of the internet, gonna get TP'd by Billy and Ben. You know where you can find them at. Get ready cause they're gonna kick your... Drunken Peasants. Drunken Peasants. Drunken Peasants. Drunken Peasants.